this is Robin Dudley Howes talking to you from my studio in Los Angeles, California. Thank you for coming back and watching another video, and to those of you who are new, welcome. I'm going to show you how to do one of these altered file folders. I'm getting ready for another class that I'll be teaching in Hemet, California at the end of the month, and these are part of the kits, and I just thought I'd show you how quickly they can come together if you have a basic formula. And that's kind of what I think of when I make these, or any artwork that I do. I try to figure out a formula and then just copy that formula. So basically what you're going to need is just a plain file folder, and you can get these at, you know, an office supply store. Walmart sells them in fairly large quantities, and that's what that is. And you're going to need to, if you want to make them look, have this old antique look, you're going to either coffee dye them or tea stain them. And by the way, that this is not a real detailed tutorial, it's just kind of a quick how-to. But this is one that I've made, and the basic layout is the same for all of them. So this is one, this is another one here, and you can kind of see they have an image in the center. There's usually vintage music paper underneath, and I usually do something called negative space. So I always have the sides fairly blank, and I will have fluff going on over here and kind of making your eyes go down this way. There's always a bow, and I have little tattered pieces of laces, doilies, ribbon. A lot of it has been dyed beforehand, so my suggestion to you is to just take a day or two, maybe even longer, to just dye things. Dye the file folders, dye a bunch of ribbons and trim and millinery so that you have it ready, so you don't have to stop. These are ones that I started, and they're ready to be embellished. So you can see I have a few of them here just ready to go. A lot of these images you can get on online, and they're free, or you can buy them, you know, buy them from people on Etsy. So I already made this one ready to go, and I'm basically just going to kind of do this really quickly and show you what I do. These are all things that are gonna come off here, so you can kind of see the outline of how I do this. So you are going to, this one has already been coffee dyed, as you can see. I always take the sewing machine and stitch down the sides, and maybe even sometimes on the bottom. Maybe do a little bit of rubber stamping. And when I use my images, I like to sew around them as well, and I will take a sponge and antique the edges, and I'm going to show you how I do that. Kind of do it old school. So just take a brown ink pad, it doesn't have to be any one in particular as long as it's brown, and a sponge, and I just rub the sponge onto the ink pad, and I start at the edges and go all the way around. And I'll do this also to the file folder too if I think it needs some more antiquing. And as you can see, it kind of darkens the edges. It almost makes it look a little burnt. And so that's kind of how I do my antiquing. Okay, so I'm going to take this back here. For these projects, I like to use tacky glue and a little bit of hot glue too. So I'm just going to take some tacky glue. This one's about ready to die. I don't have much left in it. And I'm going to just smear it all along the sides here, if I can get it to come out. I don't like using hot glue for this because it dries too quickly and doesn't give me enough time to position it. If I want to reposition it, I have a little bit of time to do that. So I'm going all along the sides. And this paper is super old, so it's kind of ripping. And this is just for the paper parts. So that's enough. I'm just going to put that in the center. For this image, I liked it so that it was kind of centered. A lot of the other ones, I will center the image, but I'll make the music paper a little bit to the diagonal. So I'm going to go ahead and push that down. And the cool thing about sewing this first, it looks like you sewed the whole thing on there, but it's kind of tricky. You didn't. So I'm going to use tacky glue as well on here. By the way, if you want to take my class, I'm fortunate because I have a large space, so we're only about half full right now, and there's about 10 seats left, I believe. If you want to contact me, I'll leave my email down below, and you can contact me if you're interested. So I'm just going to put that down. Now everything else is just going to be hot glued on. So I've already kind of positioned the things the way I wanted them to go. And basically, like I said, there is a formula. I always like using dyed, this is tea dyed cheesecloth. This is coffee dyed trim. And this is some sari silk and just a little piece of flower trim. If you sew or do anything with fibers, save all your little bits and pieces because they come in handy for things like this. So I'm just going to take some hot glue and just glue all of this down together. Put a little bit of hot glue on here too. You can see I'm kind of just pushing it on there. I'm not being real careful. That's kind of how I like to do things. And these are little strips of some doilies that were kind of ripped apart, and I got them at a flea market, so I didn't feel bad about cutting them because it was already it looked like somebody had bought an old crocheted bedspread, and they cut it all up, and they were probably going to do something with it, but they never did, and so I just bought the whole thing. Just gluing that down. This is a ticket, something from scrapbooking that I got long time ago, and I dyed that as well. Tea dyed it, and you can see this is the kind of the format I use. So that's what I was saying, there's a formula. Once you figure out the design, it's easy. You can kind of just keep using the same formula with different images and maybe a few different pieces of fibers, but it's basically the same. And I like to really pile up the trims here. So this is just some burlap. I'm going to stick that down, and then a little piece of cheesecloth. I sewed this, just did some gathers on that, and that's also been coffee dyed. And this is an old crocheted flower that I have also coffee dyed. And then I'm just going to stick, this is more of that crocheted bedspread. And it kind of makes a nice little ensemble there. And you can see it comes together pretty quickly once you have the basic formula. So the next thing I like to do is I'll look at the image, and if there's any bows or ribbons or anything on the image, I'll go ahead and make it 3D, and I'll add some of my own. So it looks like she has a little flower on her dress, so I just kind of stuck that on there. So it makes it pop out. And then I always put some little buttons that are on these little bulb pins. You can buy these in bulk on Amazon. They're used for quilting, I guess. I didn't realize that until I bought some, and that's what they were under. So that's it. That's basically what you can do to make your own. And they're really great to, you know, use as actual file folders. I have one here that I wanted to show you that I used a Dover image on, and I use it for to put old papers and stuff that I'll be using for more of the file folders. And then I also, this one has a gloss finish to it because I added Mod Podge, and it really makes it strong. Believe it or not, it's pretty durable. So I hope you enjoyed that little tutorial. If you have any questions, just leave me a little comment below, and if you like my channel, go ahead and subscribe, and then hit that little bell I think it's in the right hand corner on the top, so you know when I do another load another video. Also, like I said, I am teaching this. I'm going to be teaching some journal classes at the end of the month in Hemet, California, and I'm also